students? Are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the first 5 minutes I'll give you time to revise yesterday's topics. I hope everybody has gone through. I'm giving you 5 more minutes time. You can just go through and let me know if there is any doubt or any concept you want me to repeat. Well, no, that is one important point to be noted here. If I go back to the table, you look at the table, no? Minus pi by 2 to pi by 2 is a range of how much value? Minus pi by 2 to 0 is 90 degrees. 0 to pi by 2 is 90 degrees. So minus pi by 2 to pi by 2 is only 180 degrees. 0 to pi 180 degrees. Minus pi by 2 to pi by 2 180 degrees. 180. 180. So every answer is restricted to either 0 to pi or minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. There is a pattern actually. Clear? Okay. Yeah. Okay, then we'll proceed. So let's not waste much time. Let's proceed. But I'm believing that if you guys have some issue, you'll stop me. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Please do it. I think I did from textbook only yesterday. I solved it on the textbook. Okay. So let's start with this thing. So the first one is, so what are they asking? Find the values of the following. So when they say values of the following, you need to obtain a single term. You need to obtain a single variable. This table is in books. Which table?
I think he's asking about a trigonometric table.
Either the 180 degrees, those things, sir.
Yes, sir. This one, which you are showing right now.
The one which I'm showing, this is the one. This is there already. Okay, if they're asking for generic values, that will not be there. That you have to go to your lower classes and take. Okay. Yeah. Now, see, when they ask, no, this kind of a question comes in inverse trigonometry, find the values of something, then your work is to eliminate the inverse function and you need to get the values of it. When I say value, what will you get? See, this is the way it works, no? When I talk about a trig function and inverse trigonometric function, ITFs, inverse trigonometric function. So for a trigonometric function, sine of an argument will give you a value. What do I mean by argument? Argument is angle. For inverse trigonometry, sine inverse of a value will give you an argument. So you guys logically tell me, when they ask these kind of questions, what should be the output answer? What do you think you will get? When they say values, they're asking what is the angle for this kind of an operation. Okay. For that, we will take the help of table. Tell me that. So first problem, 11th one. So tan inverse of 1 plus cos inverse of minus half plus sine inverse of minus half. So what is tan inverse of 1?
45.
5 by 4.
5 by 4. 5 by, sorry, sir.
Yeah, never use degrees. plus cos inverse of minus half.
Two pi by 3 minus 2 pi by 3.
Minus pi by 3.
Cos inverse will lie between 0 to pi. Cos inverse output values are range is between 0 to pi. So you
Minus
get
pi by 3, sir.
minus varade 0 to pi. Where is minus sign?
Pi by
This is what I asked. Are you people confident with this? Okay, then you guys didn't understand. See, listen, right? Even if you have understood, no, listen. So, sine inverse, cosecant inverse, and tan inverse, okay? Cos inverse, secant inverse, and cot inverse. Go to your textbook, refer the table, and tell me what is the range value for this.
minus 1 to 1.
Range, that is domain, minus 1 to 1 is domain.
Minus pi by 2 to pi by 2.
Minus pi by 2 means the output will come as minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. Cosecant inverse, this is also minus
Minus
pi
pi by 2 to pi by 2.
there will be something that will be missing.
Except 0.
It's 0 because you cannot find the value for it. Tan inverse, it is minus pi by 2 to pi by 2 open bracket. For cos inverse, 0 to pi close bracket. For secant inverse,
0 to pi except pi by 2.
except pi by 2. What about cot inverse?
0 to pi open bracket.
Correct? So, there might be these kind of questions. If I ask you what is sine inverse of half, you are on a safe side. If I ask you what is cos inverse of half, you are on a safe side because if you observe all the 6 inverse trigonometric functions, you definitely have first quadrant. See, for example, sine inverse 0 to pi by 2 is first quadrant. Cosecant inverse 0 to pi by 2 is first quadrant. Correct? Similarly, for cos inverse 0 to pi by 2 is first quadrant. Secant inverse 0 to pi by 2 first quadrant, like that. So you definitely have a first quadrant. So whether you have sine inverse of a positive value, I'm stressing on this, listen, okay? Sine inverse of a positive value or cos inverse of a positive value, the angle is always acute. When I say acute, it is restricted to first quadrant 0 to pi by 2. Accepted? So sine inverse of half, how are you going to solve it? The steps to be used, okay? So I know you can find the value easily. The steps to be followed is assume sine inverse of half is equal to y. Take sine on both sides. So sine of sine inverse of half is equal to how much? Sine y. So sine of sine inverse of x is x. That is half is equal to sine y. Then what is the value of y? So how you need to solve this? What is the acute angle I need to substitute here so that it gives me a
Pi
half?
by 6.
Pi by 6, correct? Similarly, cos inverse half, what will I do? I will assume
Pi by
it to
3.
pi by 3. The same steps, you will get pi by 3. But here is what you need to be careful. If I have sine inverse of minus half, and if I have cos inverse of minus half, look at the way I'm going to solve the problem now. Look at the way I'm going to solve, okay? Concentrate. So I'll assume this to be wider. So I will take sine on both the sides. Sine of sine inverse of minus half is equal to sine y. So sine inverse or sine of sine inverse of minus half is minus half is equal to sine y. Okay. Similarly here, I will assume this to be y. Take cos on both sides. Cos of cos inverse of minus half is equal to cos y. So minus half is equal to cos y. Okay. Now concentrate. What I'm going to do is, I will forget about minus. Okay. I'm doing it for sine. I'll forget about minus. So if I forget about minus half, it is plus half for me. So what will be the acute angle I get plus half?
Pi by 6.
Y is equal to,
Pi by 6.
what is the acute angle for which I get minus half?
Sir, can you
For
hear
which I
us?
get, yeah, I'm able to. Is my voice breaking?
sir.
Yes. Pi by 6, sir.
Pi by 6 is right. So y is equal to pi by 6. Correct? Similarly, cos y is equal to minus half. I'll forget about minus. I'll find what is the value of y for which I get plus half. How much
Pi
is
by
it?
3.
Pi by 3. Okay, y is equal to pi by 3, write it here. Okay, you would write y is equal to pi by 3 by leaving some gap. Okay. Now, sin y is equal to minus half is pi by 6, but it is not plus half, it is minus half. So, if you get this kind of a negative scenario for sin inverse, if you get this kind of a negative scenario for sin inverse, cosecant inverse or tan inverse, first find the acute angle and just put a minus sign. Purida. You put a minus sign because minus pi by 6 is there in the principal range of sin inverse, cosecant inverse and tan inverse. Are you guys able to understand? Whereas when I talk about cos inverse, secant inverse and cot inverse, I cannot put a minus sign there because minus pi by 3 doesn't lie between 0 to pi. So for these kind of scenarios, whenever you have a minus sign, put a pi here and a minus, that's it. Pi minus pi by 3, answer will be 2 pi by 3. Puridara?
Yes, sir.
So this is the method I told you. See, for example, for my satisfaction, tell what is the answer for this. Tan inverse of minus root 3.
Minus pi by 3.
So I'll ask
Minus pi by
minus
Pi by 3.
minus pi by
3.
3. Minus pi by 3.
very good. You understood why it is minus pi by 3? Had the same question been cot inverse of minus root 3. So first find the acute angle. Assume it to be positive. So positive, everything should be in your mind. You should not write it in the paper. Steps are these
Sir,
things
5
only.
pi by 5 pi by 3.
sir.
Very good. You understood, no? It is 5 minus pi by 6. It is 5 pi by 6. So that's the logic. Nothing else outside this, okay? Using the same logic, we are going to solve these problems. Sorry. Now, can you guys solve it little fast? This is all about this chapter, nothing else. Chapter. And simple identities are what are there that I will teach you, not a big deal. So shall we do the 11th one? So tan inverse of 1, positive,
Pi by 4.
Pi by 4.
plus cos inverse of minus half.
3 pi by 2.
Cos inverse of half
Pi
are
by
Pi by 3.
2 pi by
3.
very good.
Oh,
Sin
sorry,
inverse
sir.
of,
2 pi by 3.
sin inverse of minus half.
Minus pi by
Minus
6.
pi by
Minus pi by 3.
Minus pi by 6.
6.
You solve this, that is the answer. Okay, take LCM, solve it, that is the answer. Okay, that part you can do it, no? Similarly.
Yes.
12th one, Baklanda. Cos inverse of half, both are positive values, so both are acute angles. Cos inverse of half,
Pi
pi by
pi by 3.
plus 2 into, remember any inverse function is an angle. So 2 should not be multiplied. Don't take the 2 and I've seen people cancelling this 2 and this 2. Don't do those mistakes, okay? This 2 sin inverse of half means 2 times that angle. So sin inverse of half will give you how much? What
by
angle?
6.
What is the answer?
2 pi by 3.
2 pi by 3.
That's it. So sin inverse of x is equal to y. So where will the y lie from? Sin inverse x is y. So what is the range of sin inverse of x? Just now we
Minus
saw,
pi by
no?
2 to pi by 2.
Minus pi by 2 to pi by 2.
Option B or D?
B.
Okay. 14. Tan inverse of root 3 da. Minus secant inverse of minus 2. So tan inverse of root 3. Root 3 means positive value. Positive value is acute angle. Pi by
Pi by
Pi
3.
by 2.
pi by 3 minus secant inverse of minus 2 da.
Minus 2 pi by 3.
Perfect. 2 pi by 3. For people who didn't understand, I'm explaining. Listen, secant inverse of minus 2 is y. So take a secant on both the sides. Minus 2 is equal to secant y. Okay, if you are not comfortable with secant y, convert it to cos. So secant y is minus 2 means cos y will be minus half. So what will be the value of y which will give you plus half? Pi by 3. Since it is cos, write it as pi minus pi by 3. That is why it is 2 pi by 3. So pi by 3 minus 2 pi by 3, the answer will be minus pi by 3. Easy? Everybody is clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So we can go to the next exercise, right? So the next exercise is all about the different properties. Means, see, trigonometry is all about manipulation. Manipulation in the sense you will write sine in terms of cosecant. These kind of manipulations is what we do. Nothing is there outside. So for those manipulations, the technical name that is given is properties. So there are certain properties which we are going to see within the given domain and the range of that particular function. That's what our job is. Nothing else. Okay. So let's see. Shall I start? Now the first question is. So please make a note of it. So yesterday I told you one important point. No? If f is equal to sine and g is equal to sine inverse. Okay. F of, so if I call this as sine inverse x, sine x and sine inverse x, f circle g will give me x. Right, I'm stressing on this point. Will give me x, and g circle f will also give me x. This one we know because this comes from the definition of whom? From the definition of inverse function. So here what is f done? Sine of sine inverse of x is equal to x. Here sine inverse of sine x is also x. Correct? So sine of sine inverse of x means where does this x come from? X belongs to, correct? So x belongs to
minus pi by 2 to pi by 2.
There.
Minus
Here
1 to 1.
it is minus 1 to 1. Sine inversely will enter value. Y will enter angle. Minus 1 to 1. Purida. Here where will it come from? X belongs to sine kullada you will substitute angle. It is minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. Are you able to understand? So that is an important point that they have given here. So in the future, if you are trying to read it and you don't understand, then there is some basic issue. Purida, shall I proceed now?
Yes, sir.
I hope you guys made a note. You write it 2-3 times, no harm in it. If you have already written it, write it again, no issues. Okay. I hope you guys copied it. Now, the first identity that we are going to see is sine inverse of 1 by x is equal to cosecant inverse of x. Okay. Similarly, cos inverse of 1 by x is same as secant inverse of x. For example, I did a problem now. No? Secant inverse of minus 2 can also be written as cos inverse of minus half. That is what they are trying to say. Okay. How it is, we will see now. So first, sine inverse of 1 by x. Let me see the proof. Okay. So to solve any kind of inverse trigonometric function, there is only one method. If it is sine inverse of 1 by x, so question is sine inverse of 1 by x. I am taking this as LHS. So if I look at the property, my job is to write sine inverse in terms of cosecant inverse. Correct? So always I should write the given inverse trigonometric function as y. That is the first step. Now what should I take? Consider, I should take sine on both the sides. Consider sine on both sides. How did I understand that it should be sine? Because I have sine inverse. Had it been cosecant inverse, I would have considered cosecant on both the sides. Okay. So sine of sine inverse of 1 by x is equal to sine y down. So sine y will be equal to
1
how much?
by x is equal
1 by
to
x.
sine y.
Sine y. Then what is going to be the value of cosecant y?
X.
cosecant y. If I take cosecant inverse on both sides, then cosecant inverse of cosecant y is equal to cosecant inverse of x. So cosecant inverse of cosecant y is y is equal to cosecant inverse of x. Let us do. Okay. First step is saying me y is equal to sine inverse of 1 by x. Second step is saying me y is equal to cosecant inverse x. So I can conclude that sine inverse of 1 by x is the same as cosecant inverse of x. Does it make sense?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So you guys, please make a note of it. Right. Okay. What is the important point that we should note? Sine inverse of 1 by x can be equal to cosecant inverse of x only for this value of x. What is the value of x, guys? X belongs to, see, they wrote it as greater than or equal to 1 and less than or equal to -1. No? I'll write the mathematical expression. So they're writing minus infinity to -1 union 1 to infinity, or the other way to write it is real numbers except -1 to 1. They both mean the same. This is what we wrote yesterday. Guys, are you confident or did you understand? Can I take it as
Yes,
an
sir.
accident? Right. Now I'll put a question in reverse, okay? If sine inverse of 1 by x is equal to cosecant inverse of x, then cosecant inverse of 1 by x will be equal to how much?
Sine inverse x.
Equal to sine inverse of x, okay? So this is easy. This is an easily understandable thing. But here what we need to know is for all values of x that belongs to the domain of cosecant inverse, that is minus infinity to -1 union 1 to infinity. Here for all values of x that belongs to
-1 to 1.
you're able to understand this.
We have to take the values of the domain.
You
This is
have to
code
go
up. Code up.
no domain now. Whichever inverse function is having the x in the numerator, you need to take the domain of that particular inverse trigonometric function. That is what I'm trying to stress upon. As I told you yesterday, there's a very, very easy point, but this part is ignored. Nobody teaches this. Nobody will concentrate. Sure, but you need to have a clarity to handle functions better. Right? In a similar way, you guys tell me that let's not look at the book, okay? If I have cos inverse of 1 by x, proof is the same for everything, same steps. Cos inverse of 1 by x, then it will be equal to
Y.
Sec inverse of x.
secant inverse of x for all values of x that belongs to, correct?
0 to pi.
The 0 to pi is the output of cos inverse, right? Why are you concentrating on range? X to the value is always domain.
Real numbers except
Secant
-1 and 1.
you will substitute every value from minus infinity to -1 union 1 to infinity. Similarly, secant inverse of 1 by x is how much?
Cos inverse of x.
For all values of x that belongs to
-1 to 1. -1 to 1.
-1 to 1. Purida? Similarly, tan inverse of 1 by x will be equal to cot inverse of x for all values of x that belongs to what? What is the
Real
domain of
numbers.
cot of x? I can
Real
substitute any real number. Similarly, cot inverse of 1 by x will be equal to
Tan
Tan
inverse.
inverse X.
values of x that belongs to R. Okay. If you guys are clear with this thing, let me show you the application of it. I hope you guys made a note of it. See, one important point I want to stress in this chapter, no, especially you will have problem with these domains and codomains. You have to remember them, no. So once this is over, no, at the end of your book, have a separate page for this chapter alone. You write down all the formulas so that it is acting as a quick reference. Don't write it in a separate paper, you're going to lose it. Okay. If you want to master this chapter, I suggest you like take the running notes, that is the class notes. At the end of the session, after the class is over, spend 5 minutes, write down all the formulas that you have learned on that particular day in the last page, so that you will have it as a quick reference. Seriya? So I hope everybody has copied it for the time being. Now I am going to apply this concept. Okay. So generally what happens, we solve the first exercise according to the concepts which we have learned previously. The question is, why can't we solve it using the concept which we learned now, especially for this kind of a problem? Cosecant inverse 2 is what? Sine inverse of
1 by 2.
1 by 2.
sine inverse of
1 by 2.
1. Right. Now the job is easy. Sine inverse of a positive value
Will be positive. Here it's pi by 6.
Okay, you need not sit and break your head with respect to secant inverse and all those things. This is what I told yesterday actually, but you will have not understood. My mistake, I should have not explained, but it's okay. Now secant inverse of 2 by root 3. Secant inverse is troubling you, is equal to cos inverse of
Root 3 by 2.
Root 3 by 2.
3 by 2. Cos inverse of a positive value. Write down the acute angle. What is acute angle? Pi by
5 by 6.
Cot inverse of root 3 is tan inverse of 1 by root 3. Acute angle. Pi by
5 by 6.
5 by 6, sorry. Right? Now it is even more easy. So cosecant inverse of minus half is cosecant inverse of minus root 2. Sine inverse of minus 1 by root 2. It's a negative value. So first find the acute angle. Sine inverse of 1 by root 2 will give you
5 by 4.
Minus 5 by 4.
5 by 4. Since you have a minus sign inside, it's minus 5 by 4. Right? Similarly, secant inverse of minus 2. Cos inverse of minus half. So cos inverse of minus half.
Negative value. So
So pi by 3.
5 by 3.
Since it
Pi
is
by
Pi by 3.
2 root
minus
2 pi
5
by 3.
minus 5 by 3 with 2 pi by 3.
pi minus pi by 3, that is 2 pi by 3. That's it. Right? Now it is easier, right? The first exercise itself has become easy. Right? So the other proofs I am leaving it to you, the same thing, okay? So the second property says sine inverse of minus x is minus sine inverse x. Is this not what we did till now? So sine inverse of minus x means sine inverse of minus half is nothing but minus sine inverse of half. That's what I told you. First find the acute angle, put a minus sign to it. Correct? That's what the property
Yes,
also
sir.
says. That's it. Okay, but we'll see the proof for it. One additional thing that I'll be doing is they have given it only for 3, but I'll extend it for the other 3 also. I keep doing it every time, so please make a note. Oh, sorry, here they have given it for 3. Yeah. So property number 2, what is it? Sine inverse of minus x. So by now you should have understood the technique. So for which function will it be minus of that inverse trigonometric function? For those functions whose principal range is between minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. That is sine inverse,
Sec inverse and tan inverse.
tan inverse, and the cosecant inverse. Right? So this is minus sine inverse of x for all values of x that belongs to So sine inverse of x, what are all the values of x you will substitute?
minus 1 to 1.
So this is going to be minus tan inverse of x for all values of x that belongs to
Real numbers.
minus cosecant inverse of x for all values of x that belongs to minus infinity to minus 1 union 1 to infinity. See, I just want to tell you one point, okay? The way the way different books will represent it. This is one way, or they will write x is greater than or equal to 1, or x is less than or equal to minus 1. This is another way. R minus of minus 1 to 1. This is the third way. And the fourth way is mod of x is greater than or equal to 1. All these things represent the same. All these are same. Okay. So make a note of these points. I'll show you the proof for one of the inverse trigonometric functions. Others you can apply it. Okay, on your own you can do it. Okay, proof. Which one shall I do? Anything, everything is the same step. I'll do for sine and sine inverse of minus x. What is it I told you? For solving any inverse trigonometric function, assume it to be y.
Y.
Okay. Take what function should I take on both the sides?
Sine on both sides.
Sine on both sides. Sine of sine inverse of minus x equal to sine y. Sine of sine inverse of minus x is equal to sine y. Then push the minus sign to the other side. X will be equal to minus sine y. Right? So I can write this as sine of minus y because it's in the fourth quadrant. Because for sine inverse, the angles are restricted to the first and the fourth quadrant. So sine, tan and cosecant all are negative in the fourth quadrant. Yeah. So it will be which implies one minute. So x is equal to sine of minus phi. Now what I need is the value of phi. Taking sine inverse on both sides, what do I get? Sine inverse of x is equal to sine inverse of sine of minus phi. So what is the right hand side? It will be minus y, but I need y. So y is equal to minus sine inverse of x. Let this be 2. So first equation is telling me that y is sine inverse of minus x. Second equation is telling me y is equal to minus sine inverse x. So from 1 and 2 I can write sine inverse of minus x is equal to minus sine inverse of x. Clear? So the other proofs you guys can do it. Sharia? Shall I move on to the third property, guys?
Yes, sir.
Wait, my device has become a bit slow. I hope my voice is not breaking.
It's not breaking, sir.
Let's see. So the third property is, we have finished sine inverse, tan inverse and cosecant inverse. What are left out? I have cos inverse of minus x. I have secant inverse of minus x. Then cot inverse of minus x. So for this, what did we do? We found out the acute angle. Acute angle means cos inverse of x, secant inverse of x, cot inverse of x. Then what did we do? Once you found the acute angle, you wrote pi minus, and pi minus. That's it. Now, for all values of x that belongs to, correct? So pi minus of cos inverse of x, it is between minus 1 to 1. For all values of x that belongs to minus infinity to minus 1 union 1 to infinity. This is for all values of x that belongs to R. Okay, guys. So I take a proof. So let cos inverse of minus x be y. I'll call it as first equation. So let us consider cos on both sides. What will you get? Cos of cos inverse of minus x is equal to cos y. So cos of cos inverse of minus x is equal to cos y, which implies x is equal to minus cos y. Cos is negative in which all quadrants?
Second and third quadrant.
Second and third, but its range is restricted to which quadrant? Second or third?
Second quadrant.
0 to pi da.
Second quadrant, sir.
Restricted to second quadrant. So anything in the second quadrant is written as pi minus. So x can be written as cos of pi minus of y. Correct? So taking cos inverse on both sides, I get cos inverse of x is equal to cos of what? Cos inverse, cos inverse of cos of pi minus y. So cos inverse of cos of pi minus y is pi minus y. So taking y this side and cos inverse x to the other side, I get y is equal to pi minus of cos inverse of x. Correct? This is 2. So first equation says cos inverse of minus x. Second equation says pi minus y is equal to pi minus of cos inverse x. So cos inverse of minus x is equal to pi minus of cos inverse of x. Right? So the problem based on this concept we have already solved, so I am not going back to the first exercise. Shall I move on?
Yes, sir.
Right? Okay. Now let's go to the next point. That is the next property. What is the fourth one? It has something to do with sin inverse x plus cos inverse x. So the fourth property says something like this: sin inverse x plus cos inverse x is pi by 2. It's an interesting and an important one. Okay. For all values of x that belongs to, you tell me. So see, till now what happened? We had the domain for only sin inverse or only cos inverse. Here it is a combination of both. Sin inverse is there, cos inverse is there. But if you observe an interesting fact that you can find is the domain for sin inverse and cos inverse are the same. That is why you are able to add both. So x belongs to -1 to 1. Similarly, secant inverse of x should be added with which function, which inverse trigonometric function, to get pi by 2?
To secant inverse x.
That is, it's complementary. Okay. For all values of x that belongs to -infinity to -1 union 1 to infinity. Next, tan inverse of x plus cot inverse of x will be equal to pi by 2. For all values of x that belongs to R. Sharia. So I will take the proof. So proof sin inverse of x plus cos inverse of x, I need to prove it to be pi by 2. Okay, let sin inverse of x be y. Taking, so let me call this as 1 term. Taking sin on both sides, what do I get? X is equal to sin y. Right? Now, x can also be written as, see, since sin inverse and cos inverse are involved, how can I write sin in terms of cos? Sin and cos have an important relation. What are they?
Cos square x 1.
Did you
Cos
say
square
sin
x minus 1.
No.
Cos of 90 minus x.
Sin and cos are complementary of each other. Huh? So you should know when to use square. Is the question related to square? Sin inverse square na koduthakkilla. So we don't
Root
know.
of 1 minus cos square x.
No need, we don't need to use the square. You are thinking of identity, but you forgot the fact that they are complementary of each other. That is, you can write it as cos of pi by 2 minus y, no? Because my job is to bring that pi by 2. How can I bring pi by 2 between sin and cos? Only when I know that they are complementary of each other. Correct? So, from this I will take cos inverse on both the sides, then I will get cos inverse of x is equal to pi by 2 minus y. Tell me if there any doubt in this step. Is every step clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Good. So I will take this as 2. Okay. First equation plus second equation will give you what? Y plus pi by 2 minus y is equal to sin inverse x plus cos inverse of x. Y and y will get cancelled. So what is left out? Sin inverse of x plus cos inverse of x is pi by 2. I hope this makes sense. Right? Right? I'm proceeding, guys. So assuming everything is clear, I'm proceeding. Okay. So the next two identities are related to tan inverse x and something like this. With that, the identities are over. But before that, let's start solving some problem. Okay. Those two properties I will teach you next. See. I'll tell you what are all the problems we are going to solve. Example 3 we will start with. So we need to show that the first thing, sin inverse of 2x into root of 1 minus x square is equal to 2 sin inverse x for all values of x that lies between minus 1 by root 2 to 1 by root 3. Let's not worry about it. Okay, let's not worry about it at all. They have given the domain. They didn't ask us to find. Our job is only to prove that this is equal to 2 sin inverse x. Okay, let's write down the question. Can someone read it? Sin inverse of 2x into root of 1 minus x square is equal to 2 sin inverse of x. This is what we need to prove. Okay. Write down an important note. Write down an important note. Wherever you find 1 minus x square, put x is equal to sin theta or cos theta. Okay. Sometimes you will find a square minus x square. Then you will put x is equal to a sin theta or a cos theta. Okay, well? So this is first thing.
Yes, sir.
Can someone tell me what is the logic behind it? Because 1 minus x square means it is of the form 1 minus sin square theta, 1 minus cos square theta. That is logic. Okay, the first thing. Not necessarily every problem will have 1 minus x square. If you find 1 plus x square, then you will put x is equal to, any guess?
Minus sin theta or minus cos theta.
Even if you put minus sin theta, 1 plus minus sin theta the whole square is 1 plus sin square theta. 1 plus sin square theta, there is no identity.
Sir, secant theta, cosecant theta.
As tan or cot, because you have 1 plus tan square theta is secant square theta, 1 plus cot square theta is cosecant square theta. You will put x is equal to tan theta or cot theta. See, the logic I am teaching you here is the same for differentiation, is the same for integration also. Okay, at that point you need not memorize it. If I have a square plus x square, then you will put x is equal to A tan theta or A cot theta. Okay. For me to substitute secant theta or cosecant theta, then the format is supposed to be x square minus 1. Then you will put x is equal to secant theta or cosecant theta, because secant square theta minus 1 will give you tan square theta. Similarly, cosecant square theta minus 1 will give you minus cot square theta. Clear? So x square minus a square. Then you would put x is equal to a secant theta or a cosecant theta. Trust me, this will work for any problem. Any problem. I can solve any problem and show it to you. Okay. Now, shall we proceed to the problem that is given to us? So what is the problem? Let's write down the question again. Example 3. Sine inverse of 2x into root of 1 minus x square is equal to 2 sine inverse of x for all values of x that belongs to minus 1 by root 2 to 1 by root 2. Close to bracket. Okay, well. So here I am able to find 1 minus x square. This is the trickiest part. So I told you, wherever you find 1 minus x square, you will put x is equal to sine theta or cos theta. Correct? But in this problem, do I need to put it as sine theta or cos theta? Do I need to put it as sine theta or cos theta? The idea for that will come from what you are asked to prove. You are asked to prove that it is 2 sine inverse of x, no? So if the inverse function is sine inverse, then put x is equal to sine theta. Okay, just take it and substitute it here. So put x is equal to sine theta. From this, an important point is theta will be how much? It will be sine inverse of x, because we need to eliminate theta. Theta is what we are introducing. It should not be in the final answer first. So when I put x is equal to sine theta, what do I get? Sine inverse of 2 sine theta into root of 1 minus sine square theta. So that will be sine inverse of 2 sine theta. Root of 1 minus sine square theta is cos theta.
Square.
So I get sine inverse of 2 sine theta into cos theta is sine 2 theta. Correct? So sine inverse of sine 2 theta will give me 2 theta. Because sine inverse and sine will get eliminated. So what is the value of theta, guys? Simple. Right? Is there anyone having it? I hope it's clear, right? Now it's good. So if you observe the same example, okay, same example number 3, the second problem, the question is same. But they are asking us to prove that it is equal to 2 cos inverse x also. How? Then what am I supposed to do?
Let us substitute x as cos theta.
Job is to substitute x as cos theta. Try, no? Those who understood, try. Those who don't understand, look at the board. So if I put x is equal to cos theta, what will I get? Theta will be cos inverse of x. Let that be equation number 1. So sine inverse of 2 cos theta into root of 1 minus cos square theta. How much is that? Sine inverse of 2 cos theta into sine theta. So sine inverse of sine 2 theta, that will be 2 theta. So it is 2 cos inverse of x. Clear, guys? Clear, Ada?
Yes, sir.
So this part I will teach later, okay? This I will teach later. because we are supposed to do the fifth and the sixth identity. So I'll do that later. Now we will try to solve the fifth one. So this is another type of question you will be finding. Okay, solution. So they will ask you to express an inverse trigonometric function in simplest form. So what do they mean by simplest form is eliminating the inverse function. That is, your final answer should not have tan inverse. Okay, well, make a note of this pointer. So wherever they say express an inverse trigonometric function in its simplest form, they're trying to say you eliminate the inverse trigonometric function. That is, tan inverse should get eliminated. Now tell me logically, if tan inverse is supposed to get eliminated, that is possible only when you have what function inside? Tan inverse of dash of x is equal to x.
And
You should have a tan. So our responsibility is to convert this cos x and 1 minus sin x in terms of tan and eliminate the tan inverse. That's the idea. Sharia? So look at the logic I'm going to use. So tan inverse of divided by 1 minus sin x. Okay. Again, make an important note here. We know this identity, cos square theta minus sin square theta is nothing but cos 2 theta. Right? Similarly, 2 cos square theta minus 1 is cos 2 theta. I hope everybody knows this. Similarly, 1 minus 2 sin square theta is equal to cos 2 theta. Is there anyone who doesn't know this? Okay. So, from this one, if I take the minus 1 to the other side, can I write 1 plus cos 2 theta is equal to 2 cos square theta? Can I write that? 1 plus cos 2 theta is 2 cos square theta. From this, if I bring cos 2 theta this side and 2 sin square theta to the other side, I can write 1 minus cos 2 theta is equal to 2 sin square theta. Accepted? Guys, I hope you guys are making a note of it. Right? Now comes an important point. Instead of 2 theta, if I replace it with theta, what will I get? 1 plus cos theta will be 2 cos square theta by 2. Because when it was 2 theta here the angle was exactly half of it. So if it is theta here, it will be half of it. Similarly, what will be 1 plus cos theta by 2? It will be 2 cos square theta
by 4.
So similarly, 1 minus cos theta will be how much term? 2
Sin square theta by 2.
Okay. This is one set of an operation where you have 1 and cos theta. So wherever you see 1 and cos theta, there are two possibilities. They can either be 1 plus cos theta or 1 minus cos theta. If it is 1 plus cos theta or 1 minus cos theta, these are the possible outputs. They can either be 2 cos square theta by 2 or 2 sin square theta by 2. Oh, clear? There is another type of combination also, which is 1 plus sin x and 1 minus sin x. Okay? If the question is 1 plus sin x, I don't have a direct formula to deal with it. I know the fact that sin 2 theta is how much? 2 sin theta cos theta. Right? Correct? 2 sin theta cos theta. Now, sin theta will be 2 sin
2 sin theta by 2 cos theta by 2.
Cos theta by 2, half angle formula. Right? So in the previous case, I could write 1 plus cos theta or 1 minus cos theta because I had 1 in the formula of cos 2 theta. Whereas in the case of sin 2 theta, I don't have 1. Or sin theta, I don't have 1. So what am I supposed to do if I am given 1 plus sine theta? That's what I need to think of. Observe. 1 plus, this is 2 sine theta by 2 cos theta by 2. Idu puriyudha? Next question is, how can you write 1 in terms of sine theta by 2 and cos theta by 2?
Sine square theta by 2 plus cos.
Perfect. Sine square theta by 2 plus, or I'll write it as cos square theta by 2 plus sine square theta by 2 plus 2 sine theta by 2 into cos theta by 2. Guys, does that make sense? So if I take cos theta by 2 as A, it is A square, and sine theta by 2 as B, it is of the form A square plus B square plus 2 times A into B.
Sine theta by 2 plus cos theta by 2 the whole square.
Is it not cos theta by 2 plus sine theta by 2 the whole square? In a similar context, what will 1 minus sine theta give me? It will give me cos theta by 2 minus sine theta by 2 the whole square. This part I am leaving it to you, because you know how to do it. Sine theta is 2 sine theta by 2 cos theta by 2. 1 is cos square theta by 2 plus sine square theta by 2. A square plus B square minus 2AB. That's it. Okay. Now, my job is to up. Did you all copy it? Did you all copy it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now my job is to use all these things in this. See, tan inverse of, logically, you guys told me that I need a tan inside. So I will get a tan inside only if I have the format of sine by cos. So here I have cos x. Right? See, if cos 2 theta is cos square theta minus sine square theta, what is cos theta? If cos 2 theta is cos square theta minus sine square theta, then what is cos theta? Is it not cos square x by 2 minus sine square x by 2 half angle formula? If it is 2 theta here, the angles are half. The angle itself is half there, here it will be half of that value. Right? The whole divided by 1 minus sin x, I can write it as cos square x by 2 plus sin square x by 2 minus 2 sin x by 2 cos x by 2. See, since this is not a ready-made formula, it is better you show these steps. So now what will I have done? Tan inverse of cos square x by 2 minus sin square x by 2 the whole divided by cos x by 2 minus sin x by 2 the whole square. Now see. Now this is going to be tan inverse of cos square x by 2 minus sin square x by 2. A square minus b square can be written as a minus b into
A plus
b the whole divided by, this is cos x by 2 minus sin x by 2 the whole square. So what will get cancelled? Cos x by 2 minus sin x by 2 and 1 cos x by 2 minus sin x by 2 gets cancelled. Tan inverse of cos x by 2 plus sin x by 2 divided by cos x by 2, minus sin x by 2. Write it till this step. If there is any doubt, let me know. It's not at over, write. And if there is any doubt, let me know. Right. Yes. Fine. Done.
Yes, sir.
That's all.
Okay. Now listen. I'm going to divide the numerator and denominator with cos x by 2. When I do this, I get tan inverse of, you guys tell me down. Numerator will be 1 plus tan
X
x
by
by
2.
by 1 minus
Tan x by 2.
1 plus tan x by 2 by 1 minus tan x by 2. Remember, tan of pi by 4 plus x by 2 is tan A plus tan B by 1 minus tan A tan B. That is 1 plus tan x by 2 by 1 minus tan x by 2. So what can I do? This will become tan inverse of tan of pi by 4 plus x by 2. How much is the answer? And this is the required simplest form. Okay. Is everyone clear with what I did?
Yes, sir.
Right? So this is the required simplest form. See, I know these are all the trigonometric identities that get involved. Okay. So you guys have to read before the next class to understand these things better. But still you have issues, like let's say you didn't understand last year itself, if you still have issues, you please go to the attendance section and enter it in the feedback saying that these are all the topics that I have dealt with. Okay. Within this 4 days, whatever best I can do, I'll try to do it. If I can record something and give it to you guys, I'll try to do it. Or if I can consolidate something and give it to you, I'll give it. But I want you all to enter if you have doubts. Okay. So please do it. So that's it from my side for today, guys. Right. Okay. So hope there are no doubts. We'll wind up the session.
Thank you.